Hey guys, I recently fell down a rabbit hole. I was looking for like a new animated movie to watch whenever I stumbled upon this thing called Tubi TV. At first I was only looking at the animated movies because that's what I've been sticking to. However, there is a plethora of trash movies on this site. Some that I've never heard of, like A Tooth Fairy Tale and Evil Bong. There was one that stuck out to me though for more than one reason. It was a movie called Made Robot. Now I was thinking probably this could be a Detroit Become Human ripoff, and I was so excited to talk about how attractive everyone is in that game.
My name is Con. You can count on me.
However, I was completely wrong. So I sat down for my 8th Dr. Pepper of the day and got through about 30 minutes of this movie before I had to turn it off. I decided to look a little bit more into it, see what the ratings were and stuff. That's whenever I discovered that this man right here, not only is he the screenwriter, he's also the producer, he acts in it, and he's the director, which might seem impressive at first. After consuming a little bit more than 30 minutes, I have a lot to say about this guy, and I just can't help but show you what I found. But before we start, in no way do I wish anybody to go over and hate on him. That's not what we're here to do, we're just sharing information. I also just need to see if I'm the crazy one here. I've also taken a lot of my informations from direct interviews with him and words that he has said. So if Jamie, you're watching and you don't like what I have to say, this is how you portrayed yourself. Deal with it. Now you might be asking, who is Jamie Grefe? He's a 30 to mid 40s man from Michigan with a master's degree in creative writing. Jamie has said, however, that he originally never wanted to be a director, and that whenever he moved to Los Angeles, chasing a dream, that's whenever he met Gregory Hanatak. Butcher that, too late. The founder, owner, and president of Cinema Epic. His movies are significantly better than Jamie's. That could just be because he actually uses cameras and edits and, writes the movies. I'm not saying that you can't make good movies from a phone. I make a lot of my content from my phone. However, you can just tell by watching his movies that a lot of them don't have the effort or time put into them to make them look good. No lights, no mics, no editing. Half the time he's in the shot, you can see him crawling on the ground. I'm getting ahead of myself. Jimmy said that he was more so thrown into being a director whenever Gregory had asked him to do it.
I met Gregory Hatanaka, who's the CEO of Cinema Epoch and CineRidge, and Greg and I had food together, and we talked, and we had a lot in common, and we laughed, and it was ready. The time was ready for me to write for him. And when he calls you on the phone, he basically says, "Hey Jamie, it's Tuesday night. So do you want to write a script?" "Yes." "I need an action script. We're shooting it on Thursday." That kind of a pace. "Are you in?" "I'm in." So that kicked that off.
He even mentions that he's the kind of guy that will just get shit done. I fully believe that he was standing in the lights that were on set and thought that he was sitting in the stars. Jamie talks a lot about the first movie that he made. He talks so highly about the first movie that he made, about how it needed to get done, he needed to make it. Who else was gonna make it if he didn't? Now it just genuinely means so much to him.
I wanted to shoot this so bad. This was my movie. I was going to direct this script. And then this beautiful idea just emerged from nowhere, which was, what is stopping you from shooting? You could shoot tonight. You live alone. You're in Los Angeles. You can shoot somebody.
What is that movie about, you may ask? It's supposed to be a slasher film called Sorority Girl Massacre: Guts of Ecstasy. On his website, it says, sorority girls descend into madness when they are haunted by an inhuman slasher. Well, that's not at all what happens. As soon as the movie starts, the first thing you see is a very long, uncomfortable pan over a girl in her bed. I know Jamie's behind the camera breathing heavily. Which, okay, fine, I guess it could be just the beginning of the movie. Let's keep watching. Well, there's just a lot of feet. After what looks like a very plain Helvetica looking, it's just another long minute of this girl's feet on the bed. Why are they dirty? There are no killings in the slasher movie. Just like a dream-like man that's kind of like making them crazy. Maybe that's where the ecstasy part is coming in. It's like we never know if this slasher dude is even real. We never find out. It's just a lot of uncomfortable shots and a lot of nonsense and a lot more of this. My favorite comment underneath this movie is, "This house is too clean to be a sorority house." Apparently he made this film, editing and all of it included, in 4 hours. People act like you have to consistently rush to keep up with the algorithm or hold people's attention. But if you just genuinely believe in what you're doing, you don't have to rush an entire movie in 4 hours like Jamie did. And it could be that everything was worked out for him, he had everything there. 4 hours would be okay. But he even talks about that day making that was complete hell. Jamie falls into this hard category of creepy. Fully believe that this man, in a way, is taking advantage of young actresses. What's with the amount of times that he brings up that he likes working with pretty women? Jamie has also said that Gregory wants him to make multiple films in one day. That could go with why he only was given 4 hours to shoot. That could very well be putting him in a very stressful situation.
Like, so Gregory is amazing, but he's very, very DIY guerrilla. He's, he worships Cassavetes, and he's very much like, go out and make your movie. Like, just figure out a way, make it. So I called Mariana, I made her an offer. I convinced her, I said, this is not going to have a script. It's going to be unscripted, but it's only going to be unscripted because I have to shoot it in one day.
I fully believe that this man just loves himself way too much. The interview with him talking that I'm going through is 2 hours long, and the entire time the person who's interviewing him looks like he's falling asleep. Every time that you think he's gonna say something like genuine and how he makes the films and everything, he goes and like says something like way out of field that's like crazy that gives me more things to talk about. Before I found this interview, I was heavily considering like maybe sending Jamie an interview to like ask him some questions. I am so happy I did, because I don't think I would have actually been able to sit through talking to this guy without a straight face or just being like enraged. I had already gotten the vibe that he was kind of like this off of a written interview just because of how much words were there. I knew he had to talk a lot. Just reading what he says out loud makes my mouth like all foamy. How can you talk that much? Jamie even talks about how he likes working with the company because he gets to use all these fancy things to make his movies like be better and everything. Like that's like pretty good thing about the job, right? Is that you get to have all the nice things. When you can clearly see that he's not using any of the nice things, you can literally see him in the reflection of this TV. And even just this photo where they literally just have a phone on a tripod. Even just putting like a simple filter over some of his work or bringing down the brightness could make it look so much better. There are some shots that do genuinely look good. You can tell that he maybe had a little bit more time. Then like the scene will go on for too long and then the trash writing comes in and ruins it. It takes away like all of it. This man has never been told no in his entire life, and you can tell. He loves being in control of not only the camera, the writing, and the acting. You can always tell in which movies that he's in that it's meant to be centered around him. This guy is the main character, final boss. Hi guys, I'm sitting here editing this video and I just wanted to point something out. I don't know why I never thought to look him up on Letterboxd, but my guy is rating his own movies and praising himself over how good these movies are. I just what? There's a lot of things that I should have looked up. Why is my guy watching Twilight? Get out of here. And at first, I was just kind of making the joke that maybe he could be grooming women and like the actresses who want to be in his field, because he does continue to put himself into movies with very young looking women and he like touches all over them and stuff. And he even talks about how he goes into the movies with like no script, doesn't tell them anything, and that he will feed the lines to the actresses. He kind of just finds any excuse to be touching all over these women. And it's ugh. And it is even on the record that he likes to work with pretty girls.
Yeah, I like working with pretty girls.
And how like sometimes he'll shoot with them before the film even happens to make them feel comfortable with him recording them.
And I'll get them used to how I'm looking at them, talking to them, directing them before my DP is even set up. Or he sets up very quickly, but sometimes I'll just start capturing B-roll. But I'm doing this very intentionally. I'm getting a really good sense of the person. You have to be able to read people impeccably, which I don't always get right. You also have to be insane, which I probably am.
The fact is, I don't even think he really enjoys directing, or else his work of art would show it. He says that he comes to the shoot not even with a script ready to go, and they just start filming. That's not directing. That's half-assing.
It's very simple. Something will lead to something else. Never is dialogue written down. Sometimes. Recently, I just get bolder and bolder because I don't even do shot lists anymore. But like, I'll just come in and tell them vaguely what the movie's about.
Not even to mention that over 100% of his films have AI covers. You were taking the fun out of your own passion, my brother. He even says that acting isn't his strong suit. So if one thing isn't your strong suit, shouldn't you focus on a directing that you said that you wanted to do? consistently talks about how if he's not the one doing it, who is going to do it, but then also uses AI to do over half of the work that he does, and then doesn't even continue doing the rest of the work. It doesn't even write the movie. Over half of the films feel rushed, half-assed, and not even finished, and then on top of it, you're using AI to finish it for you. It feels like you're not even enjoying it anymore. Or you're like a high schooler trying to get through their first project of the year. He talks about how, like, he wants to make horror films and stuff, but, like, over half of them don't even feel like horror films. You just want to direct porn. Just direct porn already. Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit more into depth on this. If you go onto his page, there are direct links to where he posts all of this NSF AI made porn. This isn't like just some silly joke. He has a actual problem, and a lot of the time they are very young and alternative looking women and a lot of feet. There's definitely something going on here. He does direct his own. Yeah. Keep all of that in mind. I just wanted to point out some of the weirder stuff that I didn't originally talk about. He even talks about his erotic edge that he has with the films, and I'm not saying that films can't be erotic. There are plenty of good films out there that are. They cross the line to where they're not just erotic, they're straight up uncomfortable to watch. And that doesn't excuse the creepy behavior that you have.
Is that what you think I am? The corpse of a man? You want to devour me? You want to step on me and kick me around a little bit?
The moment you give this man an inch or a mile, he will take it and talk about every step of it. In the end, he just ends up running back over himself and making himself seem even horrible than he did before, just like his films. I fully believe that if he would sit down, take some time, and maybe actually put some effort into one of his films, it could be something. Okay? And generally, that's what makes it so hard to sit through his films, is the creepy factor. Because eventually, the unsettling atmosphere stops feeling intentional and starts feeling personal. Constant too close shots, the lingering angles, the uncomfortable fixation on different body parts. After a while, it stops coming across like artistic expression and starts feeling like you're watching someone project their own unresolved obsession actually directed onto the screen. And it just continues to cross it in every single one, and it's just it's just, he's creepy, okay? And you can see it in his films and the way he talks. The fact that people around him just keep on telling him that he's doing a good job, it's just, what? 65 films made in 2 years is not a compliment. It's a warning. I wouldn't feel bad about him, like, praising all of these movies and everything that he's proud of, because he's proud of them, if they weren't just so bad. There are plenty of movies out there that can make you feel creeped out with like the same kind of concept, but actually have somewhere to go and somewhere to end up. It fully seems as if he's stuck on wanting to be creepy and like pornographic, that he just can't get out of it. He's talked about how he used AI to like make these fantasies and stuff for him, but that it wouldn't go further beyond, so that's why he started making films to deep dive into these fantasies that he has.
Though it wouldn't allow me to do straight erotic things. I was finding that suddenly around that time I was really into feet. I think it was after Torment of the Witch, and Centipede Strangler also has some feet elements in it near the end, or actually throughout it. But anyway, I was really into the visual sensation of experiencing feet in cinema. And I thought, well, why not make an entire movie where feet, that like we're only showing a foot, a feet, and then it becomes something other, and it becomes overwhelming. This idea of AI, like, you know, in order to, there's no thing that AI has to be. There's no, it doesn't have to be anything. It can be other. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not intimidated by it, because at the end of the day, when I look back on all the work I made, it's not like I look at AI and go, oh, suddenly I tapped into this fantasy of clarity and beauty. And actually, there's a certain veneer of falsity that comes through AI. And actually, I degraded all of the AI clips that I used. Sometimes I would blur them, I would slow them down, I would put grain over them. I intentionally made them other than they were, because I wasn't happy with how they looked. So I think we're going to find, movies will be made with AI elements.
He said it was specifically on feet, by the way. And that's not okay whenever, one, you live in an area where a lot of people want to be actresses and will do anything to get more on their IMDb and stuff. I fully believe that this man either one doesn't know what he's doing and he thinks he's the greatest thing of all time, or he's doing all of it on purpose and he's being creepy. Sad part is, if he would just focus on maybe not doing all that and actually making a good film, there could be something there if he would put the time into it. But he's just going about it in probably the worst way possible. There was even another interview that I could have watched that I didn't know about before this. And I've got to say, I'm not going to, because I can't stand to listen to him talk for another 2 hours. The tragedy of Jamie isn't that he makes bad movies, it's that somewhere there could have been a good film director. And if you want to watch him talk for minimum 4 hours with these interviews, this is where I got their interviews and stuff, and I have full permission, but just with the warning. With the warning. Psst. Hey, if you like my video, you should subscribe. And I might be working on some merch. Okay, good night.